Okay, so if you do want to convert it to rear wheel drive, you can flip the thing around. I've got a little more crap to clear here, but it does flip around, so you can have the intake in the front. And so that's good news. It would look correct at least. Okay, so here's the back of the front wheel drive Northstar V8. I think this one is 1994. So I've got a bell housing off a V6 Chevy S10, and it's the weird metric pattern. I think it will work. What I'm noticing right now is the starter motor. What I'm going to do is unbolt the starter motor and push this back. So either you'd have to cut a notch in the top of this or relocate the starter. Either one's not too big of a deal. Now, this pressure plate is 12 inches. I know a Chevy or a GM 153 tooth, according to the internet, is 12.4. So I don't know, maybe this thing could be moved up, relocating the starter motor. Those are some of the issues there. Also, the torque converter off the 4T80 LE or whatever it is, it has 4 bolts instead of 3. But what I'm noticing, and I don't know if the diameters are the same, but this and this same automatic transmission in this type of setup does have this weird little nipple coming off of it. So it'd be cool if this is the same diameter. I haven't verified that yet. So anyway, that's the whole transmission issue with this so far. Okay, so the 60-degree bell housing, metric bell housing, whatever this thing is, it does go right on. I did take the starter motor out on this engine. It is in the valley. I think maybe it could be rolled if you're gonna change to a pressure plate. I mean a clutch flywheel. The only thing is just have to probably make up something. This bolt just doesn't line up, but that's it. Maybe you could get a little starter motor to go in right there. That'd be kind of cool. But then there's the flywheel. So I think maybe you could get a 2.8 liter 700 R4 or equivalent transmission and go with an automatic if you wanted to rear wheel drive this thing. There is a adapter on Speedway motors that can make you go, it'll let you go to the 90-degree V8 350 bolt pattern, but what I was looking at last night is all the water ports on this thing are in the back. I think it'll block this. I mean, you could probably, make some kind of port on the side. This is where it goes in. I think it goes in the heads first and then exit here. So the exit port, I think, would be easier than the intake port. But that would be a lot of fabrication. So I think you'd want to go with this bell housing pattern if you're going to make it rear wheel drive. Okay, now lastly, if you wanted to try to put this torque converter into maybe the V6 700 R4, this is what the input shaft looks like. I don't have one of those transmissions here today or anywhere, so I'll have to look for that if it's gonna go this route. This thing measures 1.875. So if anyone's got these parts, it'd be cool to comment and let me know if maybe this torque converter with the 4 bolts would go into the 2.8 liter 700 R4 or any automatic, whatever they've got. Just please comment on that. And that's it for today. I think the next step is to see if this thing even runs. Try to figure out the mess of wiring and go from there. If I can get it to run, then that'll be pretty cool. And decide if what kind of car I'm going to put this in. Oh, one last thing. I don't know if this is going to go in a muscle car. The oil pan's pretty wide. It doesn't have a rear sump. It's kind of all over the place. So I think it's going to be some type of frame rail car. T, Model A, Model B, something like that. I think is what you're limited to. Or just the transaxle like a Porsche 914, MR2, Fiero, something like that. Thank you for watching. Okay, so this is the 4T80E. It's a big, heavy sucker, much more than a rear-wheel drive transmission. I have no idea how much this thing weighs, but if you did a rear-wheel drive with this engine transversely, this would probably be the one to use, so I'm gonna keep it around. Plus, I think the thing is in new condition. It's just been sitting in storage for a long time, so this thing might even work when I'm ready to do it, if I go that route. If I go rear-wheel drive, I'll sell it.